All right, welcome guys. Welcome Bruno. Uh, so today wanted to just film another client success interview because I think Bruno's been one of my other students that again just has crushed it out the gates, young, hungry, getting after it. I think his story and his background is something that I wanted to share with more people, right? And so I think kind of just getting started off to let everyone know, obviously, I know where you've come from, but like to let everyone know, like, how did we first meet? How did you join the program? All that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, so um, I was from Daniel's crypto mastermind group,
Hmm.
and then I saw the opportunity.
Yeah.
I was already working with only chat-based sales, and
Mm.
then I said, man, this is a good investment. I put a lot of trust into Daniel, so if he recommends something, I have absolute trust on him, and yeah, I just jumped straight into it, no questions asked. Uh, yeah, I'm from Brazil, and pretty much got to know you from Daniels.
Yeah, no, totally, man. That makes sense. I want to talk more about your background, right? So I think you've achieved some pretty crazy results pretty quickly. So how long was it till you got placed in a role since we started working together? Was it like 9 or 10 days?
Yes, it was pretty much 10 days, 9 days, 10 days.
Okay, it's pretty fast. And I want everybody to know how young are you? Like how old are you at the moment?
I'm 18 years old. I just made 18 this year.
Which is insane. Which I want everyone listening to that. That's just crazy. So, Bruno's 18 years old and, he's from Brazil, right? And literally, was it last month that you had your record month? Was it this month?
Yes, it was April, yes.
Yeah. So you hit, or you mentioned it was like 8.2 or 8.3K, something like that.
8.2K, correct.
Yeah. So that's USD. So pretty much close to a six-figure run rate, which is insane to me at 18 years old, which I'm sure that's probably way more than a doctor's salary in Brazil or
Bro,
somewhere
that's
close
like
to.
two doctor salaries stacked together.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you mentioned a little bit earlier on, before we jumped on that, like your parents don't even believe you that you're making that type of income. It's
Yes, they
crazy.
like, yeah, like they probably think it's something dirty or something, but not sales or anything like that. Nobody believes it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's totally fair, man. It makes sense. And your background primarily was, I think you mentioned, you talked about you're in like computer science and things like that.
Yes, so since like I was a kid, I was always very passionate about, programming, computing systems, everything like that.
Mm,
So I studied a lot for computer, just pretty much programming and information security. So,
mm,
you can call me a hacker if you want.
yeah.
I hacked my school last year, and pretty fun story that on itself. But nothing related to sales. To be fair, I was kind of a very shy guy, an introvert.
Mm.
So that's really my background.
What actually got you started in sales, man? Like what got you curious about that?
Well, so I was working for a few guys in Miami, and I was doing a few things related to like finances and money management, Excel
Hmm.
sheets and all of that stuff, sort of related to programming. And then I was keeping the job and everything, a good rapport with them, and then they presented me a sales opportunity. And a 17-year-old at the time, you have got nothing to lose, so I just hopping on it and putting the hours.
Yeah, no, I love that, man. I think that's the beautiful thing about sales. I think it's really, really cool thing. I guess like it doesn't discriminate, right? It doesn't discriminate from age, background, ethnicity, where you're from in the world, right? Even if your second language is English, right? You know, you can even your age, right? You can land opportunities to where you can make, great income or more income than you'd ever imagined, even without having any skills, if that makes sense. So I think that's really,
Yes.
really cool to see. So you kind of just got after it. You just applied to roles, or it was an opportunity you found.
Yeah, I found the opportunity because I was already kind of close to those guys in Miami, and they say, "Oh, no, man, just gonna give you a shot. If you do this right, you keep the role, and props to you." And to be fair, looking back, it was very daunting, you know. I remember I literally stopped going to school for like 4 weeks just so I
Mm.
could sit on my computer all day and like go through the material and answer all of the leads and, you know, get the reps done.
Mm. Yeah. And I think that's really, really cool. And I think it's the common thing that I noticed amongst yourself and all of the successful students in the academy is, and just people in general, is people that are just kind of willing to get after it. Right. Because I think at the end of the day, like, people aren't going to know what's going to happen. You don't know what you don't want to, you don't know what you don't know. And a lot of the times, I think success, not just with sales, but anything, is kind of stepping into the unknown. I think that's a scary thing for a lot of people. And I think especially being, young in the way that you are, it's pretty good at that age because you can take risks and you can just really take a leap of faith without thinking too much. Or you might have a bit of a think about it, but you know that, again, you've got some cushion, because at the end of the day, when you get much older, right, you do have like more responsibilities, right? You might have a family you're taking care of, all that kind of good stuff. So I think it's great that you're kind of getting this stuff now. And I guess just general feedback, man, for, I guess, people that are listening, overall feedback from, working together. We've only been working together for a little bit over a month now total. What are your thoughts? Communication, training, community, like, what are your thoughts overarching everything that you've, I guess, that you've received so far?
Well, first off, like starting with the training, I really think the training is extremely well made, especially because you start off with the actual like mindset you need on sales. That's not something everybody talks about, you know, all the way from, you know, you can't expect the leads to be easy, you know. Sometimes you're gonna have a hard day and you're gonna get, to be honest, just shitty leads and everything like
Mm,
that. So everything like mindset related really helped me like cement that down. And then, you know, the bird's eye view, so the whole process, even though that I personally had a little bit of difficult getting, you know, why you're doing what you're doing in the training specifically, just
mm,
something personally. But I really think that whole process is really well explained, as long as you know, watch the videos and really cement that everything into you. Objection handling too was really helpful for me. I think it's like really 80% of the sales is objection handling and doing that well. Uh, Another thing I really, really like is the weekly calls, because, you know, for example, this week, I was like a little bit discouraged, you know, from a call I got. Like it was 2 days without selling, and then I hopped in the call, and like everybody's lifting each other up. You listen to the status wins, and you know everybody making money, and then you like it just flips a switch inside your head, and then like next thing you know, I open a call and I make a sale because of that, you know, because it just
mm.
changes that mindset. So it's really helpful for that. I really have like I extremely appreciate too that you are kind of like a mentor. You know, if you have any questions, I can hit you up, you know, and really address them everything perfectly. I really, really appreciate that. It's not
No.
something like it's not
Mhm.
something like you like buy a course, you know, just, I don't know, a drop shipping course, and then the guy, you know, we have questions, and the guy never gets back to you. It's completely the opposite here.
Yeah, no, totally. I appreciate the kind words, my man. And something I also want to point out as well is a huge, huge thing that a lot of people, that I guess holds a lot of people back is, and I think is a really great demonstration to a lot of people that are watching this, is that Bruno is from Brazil, right? Which, he's making a shitload of money compared to a lot of people, that are in Brazil, right? I think, like we spoke about, like, 2 or 3 times X salary of a doctor's salary, which is insane to me. Um, and even on top of that, English is his second language, right? He's 18. If you really think about it, a lot of people might view a lot of those things as something going against you. So your age, your language, and where you're from. But at the end of the day, like, you're well, well, well on track, I can definitely tell you, to doing multiple six figures a year if you stay along this path, which I think for a lot of people listening to this, I think a lot of people have these limiting beliefs about themselves, that they think that they can't make the income that they want to make due to all these limiting barriers. But I think Bruno's a great example of, again, someone who's overcome a few adversities that most people see as disadvantages. But to be honest, I think he's done very, very well for himself in a very short period of time as well. And he's only going to continue to do, way, 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 way better than he is now. To be honest, man, I don't see 15K a month, 20K a month very far away from you, given the opportunity that you're on. And I think you're going to do very, very well in the future. I guess to kind of tie things off, if someone's sitting on the fence and they're like, oh, not sure if I should, do training with Connor. I'm not sure if I'm made for sales. I'm not sure if it's for me. What would you say to them?
So, man, sales is awesome because there's like, you don't need to, think about this, a doctor, he needs to go to college and like spend 8 years into training to actually do his job. But you as a salesman, all you need to do is go to the training and like really download those, mind frames, let's say, those systems, and get everything nailed down. And if you just put in the hours, you literally have like a endless stream of job offers and opportunities, really. So isn't it literally like a no-brainer? I think this is one of the best opportunities I have gotten in my life, and I can say that like without any doubt.
Yeah, no, well said. I think even to add to that as well, it's like I continuously harp on about this all the time, but it's like when you understand sales and you get good at it, you genuinely will never have to worry about money again, right? The better that Bruno gets at sales, obviously, the more his income will increase. But a lot of people don't truly understand. Like we've got people like Ben, we've got people like Peter, we've got lots of people that are getting roles without any experience and making heaps of money doing so, right? More than they could have ever thought they could have. Because the main reason being with sales is you're supporting the biggest foundational pillar to every single business, which is sales, which is cash flow. Like cash flow is oxygen to every single business. So it's like at the end of the day, if you can make sure that you have all the skills to be able to do that, you can walk up to any business and make sure that you can make them money. They're going to pay you money, right? So you're hedging against risk, right? It's a skill that, you can have that in an economic downturn or anything bad that happens, war, whatever it might be, you're always going to have a skill that makes you super employable. It doesn't matter with AI or any changes. You're always going to be able to make money. And to be honest, as much money as you want, especially the better you get, right? So with that said, guys, I think we'll kind of tie it off there. I think Bruno, thanks for hopping on. I think it's great to see, great to show like a great example of somebody who, again, English is not their second language, had no idea about sales beforehand, on track to make multiple six figures, and, had your record month just last month, which is super, super amazing as well. So thanks for hopping on, my man. We'll go ahead and cut it there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll cut it there. All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Appreciate it.